Here. Okay. All right. So we're going to go ahead and get started. First off, for those of you who are joining us live, thank you so very much for being here. And thank you for those hearts already. I so appreciate that. For those of you who are joining us on the replay, don't forget that your hearts count too. So if you hear something that is providing, yes, I'm on the East Coast. For those of you who, as you're listening, if you hear something that it's providing you some useful content, you're appreciating what it is that you're hearing, then go ahead and give a little tap to the screen. That lets me know that y'all are still here. Lets me know that Facebook hasn't like frozen you out and all that kind of good stuff. And also lets me know that I'm providing you with that useful content. And then for those of you who are joining us on YouTube, thank you so much for coming and checking us out. Don't forget, if you'd like to be a part of the live broadcast, you can do so by coming to Periscope and following me at Buffy Hood. So as you know, Tuesdays is our Tips and Tricks Tuesday. So today I'm going to offer a couple of tips, okay? So one of the very first things that I want to share with you is we have for those of us who are in Premier Designs, okay? How many Premier Designs peeps do I have here? If you are in Premier Designs, can I get a whatever you want to put in the box? Just put something in the box. I don't care. Whatever you want to put. Maybe it's a me, maybe it's a one, maybe it's a smiley face. Awesome. So we have lots of Premier peeps. Wonderful. Okay. All right. So here's the thing. One of the biggest things that we need to remember when it comes to sharing our direct sales business is we want to make sure that we are 100% comfortable and confident with what we have to offer. And y'all, needless to say, yesterday I was doing some different research. I was checking out some different things. And first and foremost, please hear me when I say this. In my opinion, it does not matter what company you are with, what product you are selling, it doesn't matter, because if you are passionate about what you are selling and what you are offering, you have the ability to be successful. Okay, so please understand that first and foremost before I say anything else. Okay, now that being said, I will also tell you, I'm so sorry. A text just came through from my husband, and he's working about 2.5 hours away from the location of where I'm currently at. So he left for work this morning very, very early. And I just received a text message from him saying, I'm a jerk. I need it. I love you. Because usually he would text me at 6:30 or whatever time he arrives to his location to let me know that he made it okay, because he knows that I worry about him. So evidently he realized that he was about an hour and a half late of getting it to me. I'm sorry. He's just cute. Okay. So anyway, so you want to make sure that you are confident and comfortable in what it is that you're offering. So yesterday, I had the task of researching some other companies. Okay. And y'all, I have never been so confused in all of my life. I kept looking at the computer going, do I understand this correctly? Like I seriously, I couldn't tell if I was tired, if I needed more coffee, if it just didn't make sense. Now look, I'm not looking to bash anyone. First and foremost, okay? I'm not looking to bash anyone here, but I can tell you that after researching and looking at a lot of different things, I went, holy cow, how thankful am I that our compensation plan is 50% gross profit of everything you sell at suggested retail price and 10% on all three levels. That's it. Like there was so much that I was seeing that just had me confused. And there were quotas, but yet they weren't calling them quotas. There was sales requirements that they had to meet. Now, that being said, those of us in Premier, we know that as an example, in order for us to receive our 10% on all three levels, that yes, we do have a sales requirement of $300 CD. Okay, so that is wholesale cost. Now listen, that can be done in a variety of ways. That can be done through catalog shows, individual orders, home shows, whatever. It doesn't, there's no specifics there other than it just can't be sample orders, which makes sense because Premier doesn't want us going into debt just so that we can get our commission. Like, that doesn't make sense. They want us to still be out in the field working. They don't want us to just sit back and collect a commission off of people who are in our downline working their tails off while we just sit at home. That's not what they want. So that's why they have that structured in that way. But there were lots of other companies that I was seeing where you don't receive any downline commission until you've reached a certain level, regardless of what your sales are, regardless of what anything. So I say all this to say this. If you do not know what the competition is, you should be out there looking, because it's going to do one of two things. It's either going to make you really appreciate what your company has to offer, or you're going to look and go, well, you know what, there might be some holes here where I might need to fill in. Okay, so maybe as an example, maybe your hostess benefits are really not as good as what they could be. Then you might have to really spoil your hostess out of your own pocket in order to make sure that you're able to get shows on the calendar. Okay, does that make sense? And you also need to be comfortable and confident in what you have to offer in terms of being able to relay that information. If someone was wanting to schedule a show with me through Premiere as an example, or I was trying to talk to them about having a show with me, if I were to do it this way, okay, so you get 30%. I think it's 30%. Yeah, you get 30% of your total sales in free jewelry, and then there's two. Let me think here. There's two bonuses that I know you can get, and I know they're $50 each, but I can't remember what. Okay, so I think it's holding the original date and maybe, I don't know, advanced orders, but I don't remember how much. I'll get back to you on that. But then also, if you have 10 or more people, no, that it's not 10 or more. It's if you have 3 bookings. Okay, so then you get that, and then you also get half priced items. And I know there's a tiered thing, but I don't really remember like what it is. I think it's, 100 to 399, or no, it'd be 301. Okay, so if I did that, how many of y'all would have already done checked out long time ago? And you might laugh, but I'm telling you, I have seen people explain it that way. Okay, maybe not necessarily through Premiere, but I've seen people explain hostess plans that way. If you do not know what your hostess plan is, how on earth are you going to get people to do a show with you if you cannot confidently say to them exactly what they're going to get? Okay. So how many of you, by show of 1 in the box, would have booked a show with me, and 2 in the box would have run for the hills? Okay. I need some interaction from y'all. Tell me what you would have done, right? Okay, because here's the thing. If I can't even get my hostess plan right, does that at all show me being competent to do my job? Like, would you not be scared of putting your money or your friend's money in my hands, knowing that I'm so scatterbrained I can't even tell you what my hostess plan is? Like, I mean, to me, I would just think that that would scare the daylights out of people. So you don't want to be doing that, okay? You want to make sure that you know that plan inside and out. And if you are going to be offering something else, because maybe you've looked at other hostess plans and you know maybe your company doesn't offer as much, so you want to make sure that you offer a little bit of extra something, know ahead of time what you're going to offer. Know exactly what it is that you're going to give. So that again, and here's what I would caution you with. If you are going to give your hostess something extra special, make sure they understand it's coming from you, not from the company. Okay. So make sure that you're explaining to them you're getting this from XYZ company, but as a special gift from me, I am also going to give you this. Okay. Because here's what happens. Otherwise, let's say for some reason down the road, they wind up doing a show for another consultant within your same company. And they then go to that consultant going, well, what about this? Why am I not getting this? I got this with the last lady. Why don't I get that? So you want to make sure that you're letting them know that's from you. That's just an extra special something from you, not that it comes from the company. Okay. So you want to make sure that you are not falsely representing what your company offers versus what is coming from you. Does that make sense? Does that make sense to everybody? I hope so. Okay. All right. So the other thing is, so we're going to do this in a different way. All right. If I was to come at you and instead say, girl, I saw that wish list and you got a whole bunch of things going on there. I would just love to be able to get that for you for free. So let me just quickly tell you what it is that you could get just by having a couple girlfriends over. So first off, Premier is going to give you 30% of your total sales in free jewelry. Is that not awesome? Okay, but then on top of that, you're going to get two $50 bonuses that you can qualify for, one of which is just for holding the original date and having $100 in advance sales. Just super easy. That's like 4 friends each purchasing one piece. Okay. And then when 3 of your friends decide that they want their own free shopping spree, you're going to get another $50 in free jewelry for that. Plus the opportunity to get 4 to 8 half price items based on your show sales. But to have a qualifying show is just $100 and one guest. And I know we can hook that up for you. So what do you say? Okay. Right? Exactly. And that's not even talking about the other bonuses that we have to offer. But if I were to do that, how many of you would book a show with me? Put a 1 in the box if you would, put a 2 in the box if you'd still run for the hills. And that's okay. That's okay. Listen, I can take it. Okay. Yes. All right. Listen, I've had people tell me too. They're like, look, I will order from you all day long, but I'm not doing a show. And that's okay. That's okay. Some people just, it doesn't matter. They don't want to do a show. I have a few customers who I'm telling you, I can typically expect anytime they contact me and say, hey, I have an order for you. It's usually somewhere between like $150 to $350. Okay. But they will not do a show, and that's okay. That's okay. Some people just aren't party peeps. That's all right. Okay. But here's the thing. Again, it goes back to being confident. All right. Now, I know again for myself, I already knew how awesome our hostess plan was, but when I started looking at the alternatives out there, it was kind of like, holy cow, I am like even more so blown away by our hostess plan, because some people, here's the thing, if you are in your specific business, okay, and you've never looked into the hostess benefits or compensation plan of other people's businesses, then you may not understand exactly what is being offered from your company. Okay. Yeah. It's crazy. It's crazy. Okay. So I'm all about free, but listen, prior to Premiere, I was not a party person. I didn't want to have to go through all that. To me, it was too much work. It was too much hassle. All right. But I also, that being said, I also never had a consultant offer to mail invites for me. I also never had a hostess plan that I was able to look at and go, that would be 100% worth my time. Okay. When we're talking there, y'all know that there are companies out there that even for $1,000 of sales, you're only getting 10% free. Okay. If I have to work my tail off to sell $1,000 worth of product and I'm only going to get $100 worth for free, y'all, I will just buy the stuff. I will just buy it. I'm not even going to go through that. Okay. But when I saw Premier's hostess plan, it was kind of like, oh, well, yeah, well, okay, that's by far the best that I've ever seen. So in terms of being worth my time, it was absolutely worth my time. And that's what I'm saying is no matter what your company offers, you need to make sure that your hostesses are able to view their time spent with you and their time prepping for the show as being worth their time in terms of what they're going to get back for that time. Okay. I hope that makes sense. I feel like I'm repeating the question all the time. Premier is a company that I still respect even though I don't sell anymore. Yes. And here's it just, and again, I don't say this to bash other companies. Okay. Because as you've noticed, I'm not mentioning any names. I'm not even going to go there with that. And there are some other companies out there who, have decent hostess plans. Okay. But it's just to say that you want to make sure that you're spoiling the daylights out of your hostess and that when you are telling her what she's going to get, that you are clear about where that's coming from, what she's going to get, and that you are comfortable and confident in showing that to her. Okay. So regardless, I don't care if your company is one of those that offers 10%, 15%, 20%, whatever. It doesn't matter. Okay. Yes, I am still blown away by the generosity of Premier, but that's not to say that people don't desire these other products and that hostess plan. Does that make sense? I tried to do a party swap with another rep and I was made, yeah. And listen, sometimes that's how we find out. Sometimes that's how we find out. But okay, so now I also want to share that the same goes for your marketing plan. If your marketing plan is so confusing that you have to have a graph and a chart and everything else, you are probably going to make people's heads explode trying to explain that to them without a visual. Okay. And to me, that can be quite overwhelming. And I don't know, it could just be because of my personality. That, as I said, I was like sitting there looking at charts going, I have to be really tired or something because this makes no sense to me. But I just could not wrap my head around it. Okay. But again, if you are able to explain even the most complicated out there with confidence and with kind of authority, if that makes sense, as in like, yeah, this is what it is and this is awesome. Like if you're able to do that, then it's going to help you that much more in terms of adding people to your team. If, however, okay, because I've had this before too, if, however, you happen to work for a company whose compensation plan is a little confusing and does require a chart, and perhaps you don't even understand it yourself, then y'all, you better figure it out. Because otherwise you're going to have a really tough time adding people to your team. Because here's the thing. If I have someone say to me, well, it's like this and this has happened. Okay, this is why I'm saying, okay, well, it's this and this and this. And then I'll say, I'll ask them a question about something and go, oh, well, okay, well then how does this part work? And they're like, you know what? I honestly, I've been with the company for like 2 years and I still don't even really understand how that works. If you don't understand how it works, for one, how on earth, I do 2 direct sales companies, 17 shows this month with Premier and 7 with the other company. Yes. Okay. You are a busy gal. But here's the thing. If you can't even explain it, first off, how on earth do you know whether or not you're actually getting paid what you're supposed to get paid if you don't even know how your own compensation plan works and you don't know how to explain it? And it's like, that makes no sense to me. Okay. As there again, with Premier, and I speak on Premier because that's what I'm in. So that is what I know. All right. So for us, we make 50% gross profit of everything we sell at suggested retail price, and we get paid first. I don't wait for a check to come back from them or anything else. I get paid first, so I know exactly what I'm making, and I'm able to figure it out on my own to know exactly what I'm making. When I see my downline sales report, I know exactly what I'm getting paid, and they show it all to me exactly what I'm getting paid, and I'm able to understand it because it's 10% on all three levels. Okay. Now, yes, because I am a two diamond designer, there are some designer bonuses that are figured in for the first $1,000 worth of sales, but that's just bonus. That's not standard commission. Okay. So if you can't figure out a way to explain and be confident and be comfortable in what your company offers for just general compensation, okay, of what they get paid on all their personal sales and what they get paid on their downline sales. If it's tough to explain that, you want to make sure that you practice that and you practice it and you practice it, and that you are then able to say, with confidence, this is what we offer. And if it is that complicated that you need about 5 minutes, and if it is that complicated that you need to have yourself a chart, then don't even attempt to explain it to anyone without having that chart in front of you, okay, and in front of them. All right. So basically, what that might look like is somebody says, so tell me a little bit about what it is that you get being a rep for such and such company. That's where you say, you know what, I would love to sit down and share all that with you. When do you have time for a cup of coffee? Okay. Don't, if you can't explain it by, without looking at a chart and pulling that up, then you need to set aside a time to meet with that person so that you can go over it, that you will be able to feel confident and look confident in sharing that. Okay. I pray that that makes sense to everyone. So basically all this boils down to is, for one, know your competition. Okay. Get out there, look and see what the hostess plans are, what the compensation plans are, etc. Know what it is that you're up against. Okay. And if you feel like your hostess plan is falling short, then you might need to sweeten the deal. And when you do, make sure that those people understand it's coming from you, that it is not coming from the company. Okay. The other thing is to make sure that you can be clear and concise, comfortable and confident about what it is that you are offering. Okay. The other company is paid weekly. You make 47%. Listen, even I know I could use a calculator to figure that out, but 50%, like, that's just like so cut and dry, you know what I mean? That it makes it much easier for this old brain to deal with. But yeah, so needless to say, it is just something where I want to make sure that for every single one of you out there, whether you're with Premier, whether you're with a different company, it doesn't matter. My thing is, I would love to see every single one of you be successful, but in order for you to be successful, you need to be able to represent your company well, and you need to make sure that you are spoiling the daylights out of your hostesses, and that your new reps understand what they're coming in with and everything else, or you will have a really difficult time being able to build that business. Okay. Now, real quick before I let y'all go, does anybody have any questions about anything that was shared here today? Does anyone have any questions or anything that they would like to add? We'll give just a second. Thank you for all those hearts, by the way. And again, I truly hope that everyone understands my heart from this. I was not coming on here for any reason in terms of wanting to bash other companies or claiming my company's better than your company. That's not what it is. Because again, I feel like every single person out there has the ability to be successful if they are with a company that they can be passionate about, if they are with a product that they can be passionate about, and if they learn how to be comfortable and confident in sharing what they have to offer in that company, then you have the ability to be successful in anything that you choose to do. But if you can't come at it with a sense of confidence, people are not going to want to do work with you, because what that will say to them is that you are incompetent. And when it comes to trusting you with their finances, or when it comes to trusting you with the money that they are putting toward an order or things like that. They have to feel like you are a competent business person. Okay. So, again, I pray that, nobody took offense to this if you're with a company different than Premier, because that's not the way we do. Okay. We don't come out there to bash other people. I sell to save lives and change statistics. The money really is a bonus. That's awesome. That's awesome. And that's just it. When you have a passion for what you're doing, it's something that you would do for free, right? Okay. And that's just it. I've often heard, if you want to be able to do something that brings you joy, that brings you happiness, find something that you would be willing to do for free and then find a way to get paid for it. Okay. And that's really what it boils down to is you have to have that passion there, but you also have to have that confidence there. Okay. Oh, I made your flip chart. I love it. Thank you so much. You're so welcome, Tracy. So welcome. We had, and I pray that everyone had a very blessed weekend. This past weekend, we had 3 shows. Well, really 2 shows and a closeout catalog show. And out of those 3, we were so blessed, so blessed. God took such great care of us, that we managed to get 9 new shows on the calendar, as well as we have about 5 people interested in the business opportunities. So, yeah, so this is going to be a busy couple weeks. So we're looking forward to that. Yes, thank you. Thank you for that. All right. Now I know I could have swore I saw, did I see that someone had a question possibly, or did the comment already come through when I read it? Wasn't sure. I thought I saw, thank you, Tracy. You are so sweet. But it's really not me. Just so y'all know. It's him. It's him. I gotta give him all the credit. Yeah, I was a little concerned. I wasn't sure how the day was going to go because we had a show at 11, and then we had a closeout catalog show at 2:30, and then another show at 4. And it was kind of like, they were all in different cities. So, yeah, thank the Lord. He was with us the entire day because I'm telling you, he allowed our day to go very smoothly. We even had time to stop for lunch in between the first show and the catalog show. Oh, awesome. Yes, I did see that, but I was thinking, I saw somebody put a 1 as though perhaps there was a question coming. But then I thought, well, maybe they just added a comment and I didn't see that. But yeah, somehow, listen, we had our first show at 11. We were walking out of there by 1:15. And so it took us 40 minutes to drive to the next location. So we got there. Okay, that's okay. I just wanted to make sure. So we got there a couple minutes before 2. It was at Panera Bread that we were closing out. So David and I were able to grab some lunch, and we finished up literally 2 minutes before she arrived at 2:30. Yeah, listen, go hit your Premier girl up. I'm sure she will be very thankful for that. So we were able to eat and got finished just in time for her to show up at 2:30, and we closed out at 3, and then it took us 20 minutes to get to the next location. So we were there by about 3:20 and got set up and got started at 4. So, well, I should say we were ready to start at 4, but because literally none of the guests arrived until 4:30, because apparently they all like to be fashionably late. So, but it still wasn't bad because we had several people there, lots of shows to book from that one. There was 5 shows from that particular one, and it was either 4 or 5 ladies that were also interested in the business opportunity. Tracy, you're so sweet. So needless to say, usually if there's at least one guest there, I'll still go ahead and get started at regular time, and everyone else can filter in. But the one and only person who was there was she's a previous customer of mine. She's actually how I had met the hostess, but the hostess wasn't even ready. Truly, like she was still like fiddling with food. She was still trying to like 5 minutes before the show's supposed to start, she says, I need to run up and get my face on because I've been cooking all day and I didn't even get, an opportunity to, yeah. So, so needless to say, we waited till about 4:30 and then we went ahead and got started. And just as people came in, I'm so thankful that, my husband was there with me. And the funny thing is it was supposed to be his show, but I'm thankful he was there with me because, as people were coming in, he was having to go find chairs throughout, like out in the dining room and the kitchen area to bring them in. Yes, I'm constantly telling these people simple refreshments, but let me tell you, they were like camping out for the night. Like, so they had like a ridiculous amount of food and desserts and the whole nine. Like, it was like my jewelry show was like just the like starter to the evening. So they were crazy, crazy. Tracy, listen, here's the awesome thing about Premiere is even though you're not a part of my team, I'm still here to help. So that is the most awesome part is that you get an opportunity to see me every day right here on Periscope to be able to help you out, right? So love that. But anyway, so I'm going to let you guys scooch. Since we're not waiting on any questions to come through, I'm going to let you guys go. But thank you so very much for joining us. I so appreciate you guys being here. Tracy, I actually have family up in Michigan. So maybe if at some point I ever get a chance to get up there and visit them, perhaps we can set up a time to hang out too. So, but yeah, so needless to say, I'm going to let you guys go. Tomorrow is our Wisdom Wednesday and I will be back at my regular location. So I'm looking forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. It'll be 8 a.m. Eastern time. Look forward to seeing you guys then. You guys have a blessed day and I'll see you soon. Thanks.